2 points. Hello, campers and bushcrafters. I'm Donnie Pavlini of Donnie Pavlini Outdoors. Today, we're going to attempt to do a little bushcrafting, so to speak, a craft for sure. I'm going to attempt to weave a basket, and hopefully it'll all work out. Got my little skeeter fire going over here. Try to keep the damn mosquitoes off. They're pretty bad today. Put a little fat pine on it. It's making a good black smoke, so that ought to help out. So stick around. We're going to get into bushcraft basket making. You know, guys, admittedly, I am no basket maker by any stretch of the imagination. This little basket here was my first, what I would call a successful basket. And I made it out of this right here, these sweetbriar vines. Bushcraft, going out into the wild, recreating something in the field that is useful to affect survival or making our living more comfortable. That's what this is about. You can put all kinds of things in here. Primitive skills, I'm finding out, I'm beginning to enjoy them more and more and more, and appreciating the road that was paved by our Native American ancestors, or for that matter, just primitive man. So anyway, without further ado, we'll get into the actual making of the basket. Okay, I'm going to need some very supple, small, natural cordage. You see we got some grapevines here, you know, and people make baskets of these grapevines all the time, you know. And admittedly, they are pretty supple and make a good basket. But what I need is I need some natural cordage that's going to be useful for me tying my first few pieces of the basket, which will become my spokes, together. And what I'm going to use for that are blackberry vines. Now they're full of thorns, as you well know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my foot down right here, take this glove, and pull off as many of those thorns as I possibly can. Got a leather glove on, little old cheapy Harbor Freight special, but trust me, it's worth it. Now, to show you what I'm talking about, here we go. Watch how this ties. Now that's pretty darn good. That's what I need. Believe it or not, with those grapevines, with those little joints that they have on them, it ain't gonna happen. Not today. It's not a theory, conjecture, or whatever. Yeah, these things are strong. Good thing to do, guys, whenever you have any kinds of vine that you want to use for tying, is just work the vine. Slightly break it. About every, you don't want to break it all the way through, but you know, about every 3/4 of an inch or so, half inch, 3/4 of an inch, and kind of breaks those fibers down and gets them used to being bent in a way that they're not normally accustomed to. Okay, so you see what we got here? Okay. Now, I'm going to select my spoke material. Spoke material doesn't always have to be this way, but I'm going to use my larger pieces of my vine because it doesn't wrap around as well. So I'm going to get me a few pieces of this. That's one. This piece is about 18 inches or so. Okay, I have 6 pieces here. 3 are going to go one way, 3 are going to go another to form a cross. Now I have to tie these together, and so I'm going to take my piece of blackberry vine, if I can locate it. Here it is. I'm going to take my piece of blackberry vine here, and I'm going to hold it, go across this way, go across this way, and I'm going loose right now, but this will be tightened. This part of making the basket is absolutely the hardest part. Like anything else, you know, hardest part about it is getting started. That's the way I found this basket making stuff to be. Just getting it going is going to be the challenge here. Let's see. Tying it off right here. Okay. I'm going to cut this off. Not worried about making it pretty right now because we can do all that later. So this is what we have. We've got our X. Okay. Here we go. We got this spider looking thing. Okay. Now, it's important to know that here, if you count them, I have 1, 2, 3 times 4. I have 12 spokes. To be able to weave a basket correctly, you must have an odd number for in and out, or it's just not going to weave right. They're just going to be wrapping around themselves over and over. We're going to start, and I'm going to start with my smaller vine. Let's see which is the smallest. Starting with my smaller vine to begin to weave. I have my odd number of spokes, and I'm going to begin my weave. I'm going over, okay, on that one, going under on this one, pulling back as I go, over, under, over, and I'll be moving these to try to make them more even. Over, okay, under. Your vine, these sweetbriar vines will break. They will. But the main thing is when they do, don't lose focus. You can start all over. See, like that, okay? What am I going to do? Just broke it. I'm going to come back here where I've already been. I'm going to loop it underneath, find an opening, push it in like that. Then I'm going to go back to what I was doing. But I really have come to appreciate more and more what our Native American and primitive man had to go through to make the 5 C's from nature. Didn't buy it at Walmart. Here we are now showing you the base pretty much completed right here. I am going to begin doing my little basket to where she's going to start going more, going to start working on the sides. Now you're going to want to put some pressure. Okay, here's an under, here's another under. Okay, on your under, put a little pressure on it. Leave your over alone, but on your unders, put a little pressure on it. and hopefully this thing will start standing. Here again, the understroke, making sure it's nice and supple, giving it some pressure. There's our sidewalls beginning to form. There's our sidewalls beginning to form. We're going to show you how to end this thing, how to wrap it up. Okay, right now you can see these spokes that we have like this. You see how I sure wish I had more vine. Man, however much vine you think it's going to take to make one of these things, listen to a non-professional and let me tell you, get about 3 times what you think it's going to take. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these spokes off about long enough to where it's about 1.5 times or 2 times this space here. Okay, so here we go. And what you're going to do to end your basket is you're going to tuck it right down here by the next spoke over. Tuck. And you see how it's going? Okay. We're going to stop this and I'm going to finish this thing up. You get the idea about what we're doing. Look at this. I'll be dog. It works. Let's look at the differences. Let's look here. See the bottom? Now let's look at the bottom this way. Okay. Look at the sides and general shape. I think we made some progress. I honestly do. I think there's some good progress to be made here. And guys, it's not that difficult to do. Believe me, if I can do it, and I'm not just kidding around. If I can do it, you can too. Another thing you can do with your basket is you can shape it this way. As you can see, this thing's got a little bit of strength. It'll surprise you. So anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it on basket making. Glad you guys can make it out here today. See my little basket? I like it. Is it going to win any beauty contests? No. But I'll tell you what, I'll give it points for congeniality. Well guys, there we are. Primitive, simple basket making that you can do. Nice skill to learn. It's part of bushcraft. Reproducing something, part of the 5 C's, in this case a container. Can't boil water in it, but if you put a skin in it and flap it over this way, you can stone boil it. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. From Donnie Pavlini Outdoors. From me to you and yours. We'll see you in the woods. Take care.